Good morning once again. If we could have everybody please take their seats, we're going to get this thing rolling. Thank you again for being here. We got to fight Mother Nature right now. Should I just start? All right, good morning once again. My name is Jeff Joniak, play-by-play announcer for your Chicago Bears, and we got a bunch of Bears fans here in this place right now, right? And we got a lot of Chicago fans as well. Thanks for being here for another momentous occasion in Bears history, and for that matter, Chicago history, and a new chapter about to be written, preserving the past with monuments honoring franchise pillars as this centennial season is about to commence. So now every fan, every visitor to Soldier Field and this campus will be reminded of the unique and lasting impact of Pro Football Hall of Famers George Papa Bear Halas and Sweetness Walter Payton. So without further ado, please welcome the First Lady of Sport, Virginia Halas McCaskey.
Good morning and welcome to Soldier Field. Thank all of you for coming. I said a prayer when I came out of Mass this morning about the rain, but I forgot to mention the wind. So, I especially want to thank the Chicago Park District and our president, Ted Phillips, for making this possible. Ted has been a wonderful representative of the Chicago Bears, and sometimes his work gets lost in the shuffle. When my brother and I were growing up on the north side of Chicago, it was always a special treat to come to Soldier Field for the Chicagoland music festivals, the college all-star games, the championship high school games, and we used to drive along the outer drive and through the parks and see the statues in the park settings. And it seemed like most of them were generals on horses, but we never dreamed that someday our dad and a Chicago Bear player would be honored in the same way. I still can't believe it, but we are very happy to be here and hope you enjoy the proceedings. Thank you.
All right, two children could not possibly make their parents any prouder than these two. Jared and Brittany Payton are engaging, impactful Chicagoans. Please welcome the Payton family.
Good morning, everyone. It is with great honor that Jarrett and I stand here before all of you today. Over the past few weeks, we've had the chance to really reflect on our father and his legacy. We remember his humility, his work ethic, and a smile that we all know could light up a room. Our father always played his heart out each and every game, and he did it for his fans. And he would be so proud of this moment and moved, we know, beyond words. At this time, we want to take some time to thank the many people who made today possible, starting with the City of Chicago, the Mayor's Office, and the Chicago Park District. Thank you so much for your support and in helping make this day a reality. We would also like to thank our mother, Connie. Nearly 20 years ago, you became not just mom, but also dad, the head of the household, a businesswoman. Through your unwavering courage and selflessness, you have carried on Dad's legacy, and you have done it with such grace and such style. We would also like to thank our many friends and family who have traveled from all over the country to be here with us today to share in this proud moment. We know that Dad is definitely smiling down on all of us.
Thank you, B. You can give a clap. And next, we have to thank our Chicago Bear family, to Miss Virginia McCaskey, George, Barb, the entire McCaskey family, Ted Phillips, and the Bears organization for making us feel a part of your family. This is such an amazing honor, and our family is loving this, that it's only fitting that our father stands next to his mentor here and watches over the Bears forever. To Matsui, there are friends and there is family, and there are friends that become family, and that's what you have become to us over the last 20 years. We thank you for your tireless work of making sure that we're safe. And also to the man that made these sculptures, Chad Fisher, and his family. Meeting him at Halas Hall and seeing the first clay sculpture was amazing. Thank you for the amount of hours you put in creating this masterpiece, and your passion will be seen in this project once these tarps are unveiled. Chad, where are you at? Can you come up here, please? We got a little surprise for you, sir. Come here. Thank you.
Chad, this is just a small token of all of the hard work. We know how much passion and time you put into this project and making sure that every single detail and everything was just right. So from our family, we would like to thank you so much. Like you said, this is just something small, but thank you for making this day happen.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We also have a little something that we would like to present to the McCaskey family, and this is for you guys and our Bears family to have at Halas Hall. It's a little too heavy for us to carry, so we'll present it to you afterwards because there's no way we can pick it up, but it's just a little something to say thank you and a representation for you guys to have at Halas Hall. Thank you again.
All right, keeping our fingers crossed here. Big Dan Hampton, come on up, buddy. First round pick, a Bear from 1979 to 1990. Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2002, the Danimal, Dan Hampton, everybody.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to say how humbled I am to be asked to be here today on behalf of the players. You know, seeing Jimbo Covert, Matt Suey, Steve McMichael, Brian Bashnagel, Jim Osborne, so many of the guys that we played with. Obviously, this means an awful lot to them, and I'm humbled to be here. But anyway, finally, at long last, the two statues we've waited 100 years for. Think about it. At the risk of being overly obvious, it is only fitting that these two most colossal of all figures in a long line of gigantic characters of the Chicago Bears will forever be immortalized. To symbolize the greatness of the Chicago Bears, or maybe more importantly, to symbolize what the Bears mean to Bears fans, not only here in Chicago, but across this nation. The story of George Halas is not only unbelievable as the player, the coach, and the creator of the NFL and the Chicago Bears, but think of the millions of lives that his passion has touched and changed in the last 100 years. Just think of it. It's incomprehensible. Ditka, Gail Sayers, Walter, Butkus, Obradovich, me, Monk, all of us, our lives were inseparably changed because of this man's vision and his passion. But what is also incomprehensible is the fact that the many decisions that he made during his life changed the fate of so many of us, especially us players. And think about this, almost at the age of 80, after winning 6 championships with the Chicago Bears, George Halas and Jim Finks decided on drafting a young man that would become the heart and soul of Halas's final championship team. That was Walter Payton. Now, I played with Sweetness for 9 years, and every single day, and every one of the players that are here today and Coach Ditka will tell you the same thing. Every single day, Walter proved why he was not only the greatest player on the greatest team of all time, but he was exemplary in all walks of life. And to be able to say that he was beyond a leader and teammate was woefully inadequate. But I remember vividly that Halloween night back in 1983 when Papa Bear passed away. Walter had gotten us a room for a Halloween party up on the top of a hotel in Arlington Park. And I remember when we all were notified by the crawl on the bottom of a Monday Night Football broadcast that Mr. Halas had passed away. No one said a word. We all turned the TVs off, turned the lights out. We all left and went home. And I'll never forget the look of resolve and dedication in Coach Ditka's face. Matsui, Jimbo, the rest of us, we all had a promise that we made to ourselves the night before, that we would be part of destiny, that we would win another championship. And I also remember that day 20 years ago, a very cold, gray November day here in Soldier Field, when some 50,000 fans gathered to pay final tribute to the great Walter Payton. And that day I remember I said that someday my little daughter, who was about 3 or 4 years old at the time, would want to know what it was like to be a part of the Chicago Bears, the greatest team of all time, 1985 champions. And I said, you know what, I'll tell her about the great friends and the great teammates and the coaches and the great games and all the great accomplishments. But the very first thing I would tell her about was Walter Payton. Well, now for the next 100 years, all who come here will see these 2 statues of these 2 men who forever changed the game of football. And now their spirits will be as one with all Bears, players, and fans forevermore. God bless both of them. Thank you so much.
That is uniquely Dan Hampton, everybody. Outstanding job. First round pick of the Chicago Bears, a 5-time All-Pro tight end and the head coach of the Super Bowl champions in 1985, a Pro Football Hall of Famer himself, class of 1988, one of the greats of the game, and a Super Bowl winning coach. Please welcome the coach, Mike Ditka, everybody.
I was thinking back to years ago. I was an assistant coach with the Dallas Cowboys, and we were going to play the Chicago Bears, and I had to break down the film. So I broke down the film, and then I decided to take a look at the Bears offensive film. Thought that I may help Coach Landry with a couple of ideas. I had no idea now. This is I don't know, way back when. And I turned it on and I watched something I had never seen. I watched number 34, the most amazing football player I ever saw. And I turned the film off and I went into the Coach Landry's office and I said, Coach, will you come with me for a minute? He said, sure. he came into my office and I put the film back on and we sat there and watched it for about a half an hour. The most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. Not because of the talent. The talent was there because of the heart. He wanted to be, he willed to be, and he was the absolute best I've ever seen. 1961, I was drafted by the Chicago Bears and a man named George. I didn't know much about the Bears. I came to Chicago. I went up to 173 West Madison. I met Mr. Hallis. He told me what he was going to pay me, and that was fine because I probably would have played for nothing in those days. I had played what I don't know what you'd call it. In college, I caught 12 passes my senior year, 12. So I was a defensive player. I thought I was going to be a linebacker when I got to Pro Bowl. And when I went in, Coach Hallis told me I was going to play tight end. Didn't even know what the hell that was. And I don't think that anybody knew what it was. But he and a man named Luke Johnsos designed that position of tight end. And a guy named Bill Wade, God bless, Bill's the greatest. He loved to throw the football to me. And maybe it's because I couldn't run too far, but I don't know. He threw it to me. But it was a heck of a thing. He really, Coach Hallis really changed it. Him and Luke really changed football. The tight end was just the guy that in the end it ended up blocking people. But now, when they came into the league, John Mackey and people like that, you came in with the talent and people moved them around. I mean, it's unbelievable what they do with the tight ends today. Now, you look at the tight ends in pro football, they look like power forwards in the NBA. But I was so blessed to be in the right position at the right time. And I owe it all to George Hallis. Oh, yeah, he traded me, and that was right. I should have been traded because I became a smart ass. And then, but he brought me back. He brought me back to coach, and that was the biggest thing in my life. It was something I'll never forget. I did good, I did bad, but you know, it is what it is. But it was fun. See some of the players here, Matt and Dan and all the guys. Walter would love to be here right now, but the good Lord took him. But thank you so much, and go Bears. Beat the Packers.
Amen to that. All right, thank you, Coach. Thank you, everybody. Now time for the unveiling of the Hallis statue. Evan McCaskey Collins, Fran, and Chad Fisher will do the unveiling. I know the media has to move in that general direction. So again, thank you for being here, and thank you for all your comments. Thank you, and congratulations to the Payton family and the Hallis McCaskey family. All right, time for sweetness. Connie, Eddie Payton, and the Payton family. Thank you again, everybody, for coming. Invited guests, you're welcome to join us in the Midway. And again, another uniquely Chicago moment. Thank you for being here, everybody, and go Bears.